Shalom. Let's start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wakach, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and I've got this Yahoo News article pulled up. It came out March 20th of 2025. And it says the European countries preparing their citizens for possible emergencies. In the shadow of Russia's war with Ukraine, some European countries have offered advice on how to prepare for conflict and other emergencies. And if you want advice on the best ways to prepare for war, you should probably speak to Europeans because, as the scriptures say, continually are they gathered together for war. And they are. These are a people of war. Just joking about taking their advice because they never do anything truthfully and honestly and for your benefit. But they are always gathered together for war. And we're coming into a time of war, if not already in that time of war. And these countries are trying to prepare their citizens for the mayhem that will break out. It says the French government has created a survival guide for citizens on how to cope with nationwide crises, including a nuclear attack. Due to be sent out before the summer, the content of the booklet is intended to ensure the resilience of populations in the face of all types of crises, including natural, technological, cyber, or security. And there really are many, many fronts that war can take place on. So the guide also tells citizens to protect yourself, but also protect the people around you. It explains how to register as a reserve to carry out civic service if needed, be it military, digital, or communal. The 30-page booklet also contains practical advice on what to do in the event of a climate disaster or industrial accident, including building up essential supplies like bottles of water, torches, batteries, and first aid kits. It says first aid kits, misspelled. But that is good thinking here in America as well, because American government doesn't care about its citizens as much as these European governments do and the other governments of the world. But this is basic stuff. You should have extra water, flashlights, candles, batteries, first aid kits, some rice and beans, and whatever food that'll keep in storage. You should have supplies. It's not thinking to not have supplies. We do put all of our trust and faith into the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, but you should still have supplies. You should definitely have supplies. Don't tempt the Lord. Just have some backups ready. Be prepared. Prepare for what is coming. And you know what's coming. You know the prophecies. And so you should have some backup stuff and not just rely on the next man to help you out. You should have backup supplies for your family. Water filters, those that come in great handy, some sleeping bags, whatever is needed. Don't go overboard, but don't be underprepared as well. This is the guide, which is expected to be distributed via official websites, social media, and discussed in schools, follows the lead of other European countries. Officials from General Secretariat for Defense and National Security, SGDSN, insisting that the booklet was absolutely not to prepare the population for the prospect of war, unlike in Sweden, which you're in Europe. Your whole history is of war. Even when Jake was there, it was all war. War happens in Europe, basically, and they should be prepared. And it is imminent. It's going to happen. This is how the heathen nations get judged. It says, however, while it does not specifically mention the threat of invasion, it comes in the shadow of Russia's ongoing war with Ukraine and the fears that Vladimir Putin could invade other countries and escalate a wider war with the continent. So, what are countries in Europe doing to prepare their citizens in case of conflict? I'm not going to read through all this, but as you can see, Sweden with with France, they're also giving these guidebooks and ways to prepare. Finland is doing similar, and they're right there on the border with Russia. Germany is doing that, a guide for emergency preparedness and correct action in emergency situations. Norway is doing it. You're part of Norway's emergency preparedness. Denmark is doing it. Prepare for crisis. Lithuania is doing it. The UK, it says, while the UK does not have a physical guide for citizens at a time of emergency or war, there are plenty of resources online. And so they're preparing as well. And yeah, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, because we're coming into a time of war. Joel 3 and verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Those European nations are Gentiles, those countries. Even though they've claimed to be of the Lord and all these things, and the true Christians, those are Gentiles. Those are heathen. And they're a large amount of why this war is coming and why it will be here, because it's judgment for them. Those European countries make up the bulk, as well as America and wherever else, so-called white people, they make up the bulk of the Edomites. The Edomites being Jacob's brother, being the people who the Lord hates and has indignation for forever. So-called white people and so-called small hatters, or these, the 1948ers, they are Edomites. And this is their judgment coming to end their world. But yeah, they should prepare. And the Lord tells them to prepare. Joel 3 and verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. And that's what those countries are doing. They're preparing their citizens for war. Wake up the mighty men. So, as that French article, one of the countries was saying how to serve civic duty, how to join your military, become a mighty man. So wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. So get ready, get prepared, build yourself up, train, get your technology ready and your weapons of war ready, because war is coming. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. And the plowshares and the pruning hooks are used for agriculture, but now you need to divert those resources you would have used for agriculture or for the betterment of your country or for your infrastructure or whatever else you would have used for. Put it into war, because war is coming. Prepare for it. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that comes from a lot of smaller, weaker nations becoming nuclear capable. Like North Korea always comes to mind. Iran is getting there, if not already there, and they come to mind. Even though Iran's not just like a pushover or anything. But the playing field is being leveled with technology, with nuclear capabilities. Verse 11, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. So this war is going to happen, regardless of people trying to claim peace and safety or trying to divert this from happening. It's prophecy, and it's going to happen. It needs to happen. And we are in a time of war. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 8. A time to love, because actually we're going to start at verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So there's a season and a time for every single thing to occur. And we're going to skip down to verse 8 because this is what we're coming into. It says there's a time to love and a time to hate. Complete balance. That's the whole spectrum. And there's different times for different things, different seasons for different things. It says a time of war and a time of peace. And we have left the time of peace. There were wars around the world, as well as wars being prepared to happen with the Great War, Valley of Jehoshaphat, coming. And we're not in a time of peace. That time of peace will come after this time of war, because this is the war that will end all wars. Because once Yahushua returns, there'll be no more war ever again, because Yahushua, King David, the Israelites, the 144, are going to be on a much higher plane of existence than the rest of humanity, and there will be no challenge. They won't be able to challenge the Israelites in war, and will also be there to stop the heathen from going to war. Yeah, we'll let them fight individually, but there won't be all-out war anymore. And with this type of destructive technology that's available, it's just not going to happen anymore. But we have to go through this current time of war first to get to that time of peace. So you should want this because it's for the betterment of the Israelites, for your nation, but it's also for the betterment of the universe completely. To have the Edomites removed out of war is good for everybody and everything, including the Edomites, because they hurt themselves. They need to be removed from power, and this coming war to end all wars is what's going to do it through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is Jeremiah 12 and verse 1. Righteous art thou, O Lord, when I plead with thee. Yet let me talk with thee of thy judgments. Wherefore doth the way of the wicked prosper? And this was speaking to the southern kingdom at first, but these Edomites have put this book on themselves, and it's speaking to them currently. And they are the wicked within the scriptures. Malachi 1 and 4. It says, wherefore are all they happy that deal very treacherously. It says, rejoice and be glad, because they have been in very good case. These Edomites, so-called white people, and these small hatters, they've been in great case for a very long time and have been winning. But everything they do is treacherous. It's all evil. It comes out being wicked. It says, thou hast planted them, yeah, they have taken root. They grow, yeah, they bring forth fruit. And they have taken root. They've been planted. They taken root, and speaks of how they've spread themselves as a green bay tree, and they've spread their wicked ways, their philosophies, and their wars and violence all around the earth, as well as their theft. They have definitely grown and prospered, but now we're coming to a time where they end. It says, thou art near in their mouth and far from their reins, because you'll hear them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And they put this book onto themselves. You could have a certain segment of Edomites claiming to be the Lord's people. You got another segment of them claiming to be Christians. But they truly don't fear the Lord. They tell you the laws are done away with. They had to change all the images in his name to fit them. Shows he's really far away from them. They had to change it in order for them to even be with it. They are liars and blasphemers, and they are about to be judged for all that. But verse 3, this is the point. But thou, O Lord, knowest me. Thou hast seen me and tried mine heart toward thee. Pull them out like sheep for the slaughter, and prepare them for the day of slaughter. So all those books that they're reading in order to get prepared and training up of the troops, it's all for nothing, because this is an evil time for you, and you will not be able to remove your neck from this. You Edomites, this is your end. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. You can't get out of this. You have to be judged. You've done so much evil that you're going to be judged in that same type of evil that you've put out. One of them being war. And war is coming for you. Prepare, but keep those expectations low, because you're not going to get out of this. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekach Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.